Assalamu alaikum and welcome dear students. This is your English teacher Qaisar Bashir. Dear students, in today's video I am going to discuss the poem An Evening Wet with Rain. This is the 7th poem of your English textbook Tulip series for class 10th. Let's get started. About the poet. Dear students, Ved Pal Deep was an eminent Dogri poet from Jammu. For his contribution to Dogri language and literature, he was awarded by Jammu and Kashmir Academy of Arts, Culture and Language. Introduction. Dear students, the poem An Evening Wet with Rain was originally written in Dogri language by Ved Pal Deep. It was later translated from Dogri into English by Shivnath. In this poem, the poet regrets that the days gone by do not return. Summary. Dear students, in the poem An Evening Wet with Rain, written by Ved Pal Deep, the speaker of the poem recollects an evening wet with rain. Using images from nature, he describes it as a moment of complete silence. He describes his state of being and the wet, breezy and rainy atmosphere while walking down the wet lane. He finds himself in utter sadness and extreme loneliness. He is in dire need of someone's company, perhaps his beloved's. The speaker feels discouraged because he has lost all expectations at the evening of his life. Here, evening symbolizes his old age. Because of his sorrow, sadness and disappointment, he cannot appreciate the beauty and magnificence of nature. The reviving new rain, cool breezes, stir up banyan leaves do not appeal him anymore, which used to charm and excite him when he was young and had the company of his beloved. He senses the silence struck all over the place, even in his own existence. He feels tired, his eyes heavy. It may be because of fever, or it may be because of sleep. Here, sleep signifies death. And then he remembers how, when he was young, he used to sit in the courtyard listening to the musical sound of cymbals. However, in his old age, the music does not attract his senses. He seems to have lost the sense of appreciation, as happens in old age. Now, not being able to enjoy the present, he says with a sigh, "The days gone by do not return." Finally, the speaker seems to have gained maturity. He no longer craves for the past. He wants to bid goodbye to the worldly pleasures, whatsoever, to rest in the lap of the night. Here, the night symbolizes death. However, he is not sure about his fate. Therefore, he leaves himself to his destiny. Themes. Dear students, the poet highlights various themes in the poem An Evening Wet with Rain. Number 1. Days gone by do not return. Number 2. Old age is full of difficulties and concerns. Number 3. Death is inevitable. Number 4. Humans are helpless before destiny. Poetic devices. Dear students, the poet has used various poetic devices in the poem. Number 1. Imagery. Dear students, the poet has used visual imagery in the poem. He has created a clear picture of an evening wet with rain. Wet windows, doors and awnings, the wet collar of the coat, water seeping through the poet's shoes, fluttering of banyan leaves with cold breezes, etc. are the images used by the poet in the poem. These images leave a lasting impression on the reader's mind. Personification. The students, following are the examples of personification in the poem. Number 1. The evening preparing to go to sleep. Number 2. The evening of troubles is also depressed and takes me along, holding me by the arm. Number 3. Moonlight lops holding the hem of the moon. Number 4. Waves of air brought the sound of cymbals. Number 5. The sky's feet touched the ground. Simile. The students, following are the examples of simile used in the poem. Number 1. As the sky's feet touch the ground, shadows of trees rest in the darkness. As some passing cloud casts a shadow over hills. Alliteration. The students, following are the example of alliteration used in the poem. Wet with rain as I walk. Heart beckons the hands to hold. Waft with the wind. Dear students, this was all about the poem. Stay blessed. Khuda Hafiz.